Hi there. Thank you for checking out this video. I'm starting a new channel on YouTube and I'm calling it Sapiens Forward. So I figured the first thing I should probably do is create a short video explaining why I'm calling it Sapiens Forward. What is this channel about? Why am I creating it? Why am I going to be creating videos? Who I am? And in general, what is my story? So first of all, why am I calling it Sapiens Forward? Well, Sapiens comes from the Latin sapiens for wise man. It's part of Homo sapiens, the term which we use scientifically to refer to humans, and forward. So sapiens forward, my focus with this channel is really about figuring out how we all move forward and find happiness in what is now the age of AI. And that's crazy to think about. I'm a human, and yet there may be videos that get uploaded to YouTube or other channels in the next few months, years, might be completely made by AI. And some people may not be able to tell that apart from a video uploaded by me. That's crazy. And the more and more I think about everything that's going on, the more I realize that there needs to be more conversation about this. But why me? Who am I? I'm just kind of an average guy. I'm in my early 40s, got a family, got a house. By many basic measures, I'm doing pretty good. I work in cybersecurity, have a good job, doing pretty well. And yet, when I first discovered ChatGPT as an example, I first started checking that out around the end of 2023. It came out about a year before that. But when I first started taking notice of that and realizing what it could do, started incorporating it into my day-to-day, it just blew my mind. And initially my thoughts were like, this is amazing. This is helping me with my job. This is helping me with stuff I'm doing in my personal life. But then there also started to be a little mix of things that made me apprehensive, thinking about the future and what's going on in the broader economy and society. What am I apprehensive about? Well, as amazing as some of these tools that are starting to be created are, it seems like there's a lot of potential for disruption and displacement. And sadly to say, despair. I mean, that sounds rather dramatic, but AI has a great potential to automate all kinds of professional activities. Even the International Monetary Fund put out a report saying it's estimated 30% of jobs in advanced economies are at risk of being replaced by AI. That's a huge figure. And even if those jobs aren't replaced, the way that those jobs and that work will be changed by AI will undoubtedly cause a lot of disruption to financial markets, industries of every kind of sort, and society. I mean, how we all interact with each other, what life is like in cities, rural, everywhere, travel. So a lot of disruption, and disruption rarely makes people happy. And it seems like lately we've already got plenty of turmoil. But then displacement from the changes to people's jobs and what they do for a living. Will they have a job? Are they trying to find a new job after AI potentially putting hundreds of thousands, millions of people out of work? And ultimately leading to despair. A lot of folks find a lot of fulfillment and purpose from their work. Or if not from that, from their ability to support and take care of the family, which may ultimately derive from the work that they do and bringing home money to be able to pay for food and rent and house and transportation. What do we all do if we all start losing our jobs but there aren't viable replacements for those? How does that impact us and how we feel about ourselves and our place in the world when we struggle to figure out how we support and take care of our families? I started thinking a lot about those things. I got a bit of apprehension for myself. I work really hard hopefully will maintain my job, but I think about how this could impact others, and I worry about people I care about. What is this all going to mean for them in the next few months, years? What is life going to be like a decade from now? Is it going to be totally different? It's hard to believe. AI is here. I mean, when I was a kid, it was a science fiction thing, like, oh, that's something that'll be decades from now. I don't know, it might not even be in my lifetime. And yet here it is. I grew up before the internet was really a thing for average people. The first computer I ever tried out was an Apple IIe. That's pretty basic. And then I grew up with the internet coming about. I remember the first time checking out Google. I remember the first time I checked out Facebook when I was later in school. And yet now here we are with AI. It's incredible. So yeah, I have a lot of apprehension about what the future holds and how many people I care about and people I don't even know how it could impact them. I think about that. But despite that, I have a pretty good amount of hope too. I mean, the human species, we have this knack for being creative and resourceful and surviving. A species, if not anything else, are survivors, and we're adaptive. And so I know that we as a species, as people, we will find a way to navigate through this, but I don't think it's going to be automatic. I think what happens next is we all need to band together. We all need to figure out together what this means for us as people, as communities, societies, as a species, what life means now for us now that AI is here. And it's not just that AI is here, it's going to be an evolution for everybody, but everything. AI will continue to evolve and transform as people continue to develop the technology. So it's all going to be fluid as we try and figure out our place and where we go from here. But I have a lot of hope. And I feel like we need to step up and start thinking about some of these difficult questions. And certainly there's plenty of luminaries in this space on AI, big corporate luminaries, people in government and at some of the big tech companies talking about these things. But I think it's important for folks who are not at that level, who are more average, normal, day-to-day people, to think about and talk about in our communities and our families what we're going to do, how this is going to impact us, what is our plan, what are we afraid of, what are we hopeful for, how can this help us? I think that's important too. There's a lot of benefit to these technologies, and for some folks it's not readily apparent. I've spent a lot of time over the last year or so finding ways to make use of these tools and what their new capabilities are every time there's a new release. And for me, that's part of how I'm adapting to make it a part of my life, so it's not replacing me, it's becoming a part of me. It sounds crazy. But I wanted to start this channel because I want to do more than just be a recipient of these technologies and these tools and how it can benefit my life and my family. I want to connect with others and see what are they afraid of, what kind of help do they need. This is where I think we all need to come together and reach out and connect and continue that dialogue, further that dialogue for the people who aren't CEOs of tech companies and government leaders, but people who are actually ultimately going to be impacted by this stuff the most. The average, everyday people with a family are just trying to get through and enjoy their lives the best they can. So I want to connect. And my goal with this channel is to share resources, find resources about AI tools that may help people understand how to use it, how to fit into their lives, into their career and their work and what they do. Find news about what's going on with AI. It's undoubtedly going to be changing quickly with rapid innovation. There's so much money going into the AI space, just billions of dollars. It's going to move fast. And it's going to be hard to keep up. So not just want to share information with others, but hopefully I'll find info from others that are listening along and we'll have a dialogue and we'll share. But ultimately, I want to connect. I think one of the most critical things for everybody who's going to be trying to navigate through what life is going to be like now that AI is here is for us all to connect with each other. There's this pervasive feeling I have, and I know that others have, it's 2024, this disconnection. We're all connected to the internet and social media and apps, but still isolated somehow. And I feel like there's a lot of room for that to potentially get worse with AI. I don't know how, but it's a concern I have. So let's connect, let's share, and let's get through this together. And thank you for listening. There's going to be a lot more to come soon. I'm really eager to dive into this and start sharing. So thank you for listening, and check it out.